Hi everyone, my name is Becky and this is AHandKnitLetter, a show and tell of the stuff I've made and the stuff I want to make. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's talk about knitting. First up, what am I wearing? I am wearing the Boxy Lady by Loopy Mango, and it is a very simple, beginner-friendly, quick knit. I knit this out of a discontinued cotton, organic cotton yarn. It takes a bulky weight, or bulky or super bulky. You can check out the specs on Ravelry. I'll link it down below, but it's incredibly fast. So I definitely recommend it for beginners. I just wear it. Mine is cropped. I wear it over dresses or over tank tops, and yeah, I really like it. Let's get right into stuff I've made. So in stuff I've made, I finally finished the lambing mitts that I talked on and on about. Yeah, I definitely waxed about these in many episodes. Yeah, these are made out of, you know what, I forgot my notes. The lambing mitts are made out of Peace Fleece worsted, and I use the color Morning Dove, and it is a very simple pattern, and it is by Veronica Job. It's not on Ravelry. It is on Ravelry, but it's not at the same time. You can find it there and you can see the projects there, but you can't get the link for some reason. But there is a live link in one of my episodes, and I will also link that in the description box, so if you want to find the pattern. Anyway, these are very easy to knit. They're very satisfying knits. I enjoyed it very much. I will probably revisit these on many occasions, especially for gift knits, because the cool thing about these is it'll cover your whole hand. So, I feel like it can fit a tremendous amount of people, and you can knit it really quickly, like a day. I enjoyed these very much, and they look kind of silly whenever nobody's got a hand in them, because they kind of look like a weird Seuss tree or a bong. I have another finished object. I have my Agave top. Put my notes down so I can hold this out. This is the Agave by Yumiko Alexander, and I knit this out of a Drops cotton linen yarn, and I'll just hold that up so you can see the details. And it has kind of a pretty, I don't know if you can see from there, but it has a scalloped hem, which is really beautiful in the front, and the back is straight. But I modified mine in a couple ways. So in the pattern, the back is also supposed to have this lace portion is supposed to extend onto the back. I wanted mine a little more plain because I'm more plain. And so it was a little busy. I did love the design and the shape, but the sleeves were a little busy and the back was a little busy for me. So I just did a plain stockinette back. And the sleeves, there were two options for sleeves. There were long sleeves with lace work, like kind of just like this, but smaller. And then there was flutter sleeves with the same lace pattern. I didn't love either of those. So I decided to pick up for the sleeves and maybe knit a couple rounds, or do what I eventually decided to do, which was pick up for the sleeves and do the same twisted ribbing as I did on the shoulder and neck. And so that's what I did, and I really am happy with it. I've blocked it, but I haven't blocked it since I picked up the sleeve, so this should lay a little flatter once I do. But I think all in all, I really do love it. And I think it's a pretty top. It'll look really cute over dresses or tank top, shorts, linen pants. I think that I could style it in different ways. I knit it to pattern otherwise. The length to pattern, I knit the shortest length. There's 3 lengths in the pattern. I knit the shortest one. And I had gauge, and let's see what else. Same needle size as the pattern. So yeah, other than the back and the sleeves, it's knit to pattern. And I really do enjoy it. And I do like this yarn. I didn't really enjoy knitting with the yarn because I don't really enjoy knitting with cotton or linen, but I like the result, so I put up with it. So I knit this out of Drops Bomull Lin, which is a cotton linen yarn. I do like this yarn. I would recommend it. It does split a little bit, but I think that would be the nature of anything that has a linen thread and a cotton thread wound together. They don't like to stick to each other. So, but it's easy to put up with. I mean, it's not a deal breaker by any means. This is in the color 03, which is a very creative name. I always appreciate the names. Sometimes it's the deal, like if I have 2 yarns of the same brand or even of different brands and I don't know which one I want, I will look at the names and I'll be like, which name speaks to me? So 03 didn't really speak to me, but the color did. I don't know about you, but the name is where it's at a lot of the times. Makes me think of, there was a store, I don't know if there still is, I haven't seen one in a while, but there's a store in the United States, a women's clothing store called Dress Barn. And I always thought, yeah, that's what we want. We want to get our clothes at a barn. So names are important. Oh, I want to say one more thing about the Agave. I knit this along with my friend Lindsay from Always Yarn First, and she also did modifications on hers. I think maybe the only modification would be the sleeves, but I could be wrong. Go check out her last podcast. I think I know she goes into more detail about it there, but she picked up for her sleeves and then I think she just knit a couple rows and bound off, and hers also looks really beautiful. And the design itself looks beautiful too, so you might like the original design feature of the sleeves. Okay, so in stuff I'm making. I have a Felix cardigan on the needles right now. I'm just about to split for the sleeves. It goes so quick. This cardigan is such a fast knit because it's knit on size 10, which I believe, let me write this down. Size 10 needles, which is 6.0 millimeter needles. So they're big needles, and it's knit in a Aran weight, or probably chunky in Aran weight, or heavy worsted yarn. I'm knitting mine out of Drops Air Mix. So the yarns that say mix, I believe, are the ones that have some heathering to them. This one also is in a very romantic color name, 06. It's like a charcoal gray. It's very, very soft. If you've never knit out of Drops Air, it is it is baby alpaca and merino, and it has a like a nylon or a polyamide or whatever core that this yarn is blown into. And so it's extremely soft, and I've knit Felix cardigan out of it before for a friend of mine, and I really loved the result, so I knew I wanted one for myself. So therefore I cast one on. This is the 3rd size, I believe. It is a 48-inch bust on this one, so that will give me about 8 inches of positive ease. I like things to have, I like 5 to 10 inches of positive ease on things, but more towards 10. But this gives me 8 inches of positive ease according to my gauge and the pattern. I'm sure that you've heard of this one before. It's Felix by Amy Christoffers, if I hadn't said that already. That's what it is. It is a raglan shaped cardigan, and it has some really beautiful details in the raglan shaping. It is like eyelet rows in the raglan shaping, so it gives a little something else rather than just a plain Jane cardigan, which is fine too. Those definitely have their place, and I need to knit some of those. But the eyelet details are very pretty. I enjoy those. This is a perfect cardigan for a beginner, for sure. It might even be the perfect garment. Well, maybe not, because you do have to pick up the button bands and the collar. So maybe not the very first garment, but you could definitely do it if it was your first garment. I would probably suggest something that maybe the Felix pullover would be a better first garment, but this is definitely a beginner-friendly pattern. Very, very clear. Turns out well, looks good on most people that I've seen on Ravelry. It looks good on them. So various shapes of bodies, and it goes by so quick. So you don't feel, it's not, even though it's in stockinette, you don't feel like it's taking you for the rest of your life. And you could probably knit this thing in a week if you didn't knit on anything else and you had some time. You could definitely knit it in the week, and that's not just like going at it all day long. So yeah, I really recommend the Felix patterns. They're not exciting, but they are good. So 2 thumbs up, gold star, couple little winks for the Felix. One more thing on my needles currently, and that is the hat. I love to have hats on the go, more so than I enjoy socks. I feel like it's a little more mindless for me. So I like hats for traveling, for conversating. Anyway, I have the Cheslie Toque by Burgess, and it's one of my favorite hat patterns. I've knit several Cheslie Toques. Wait, I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna back up because I'm gonna tell you some other stuff about the Felix. I am knitting this Felix for 2 knit-alongs, to double dip in 2 knit-alongs. The first one is the, see, I'm so prepared. I've got my paper with me. It is the Make It Again Mal 2024 that's being hosted by my friends Trish of Tie Dye Diva and Rochelle of Queen's Yarn Boutique. They're making a year-long make-along of sweaters. So they said cardigans are sweaters, so I could put that in. And then the other make-along that I'm putting this in for is Stephanie's of Edible Thoughts Makes. She's having a make-along called Make It Again Mal 2024. And so since I've knit the Felix before, this is my Make It Again, but also this is my Make It Again, the Cheslie Toque. I've knit a couple of these. I don't have one of my very own, and I want one because I love this hat, and I can't believe I don't have one. So I am knitting this out of Fiber Macgyver in their Sport Weight and their Surrey held together, and it is in the color Shaddix. And it is a color inspired by Mary Beth, who I know from Instagram, but also from real life when I met her at Wool & Folk. So she showed me her color and I fell in love with it because it is so beautiful. It's like it's like a copper color, but like almost like a glowing ember like color. I like the way that that looks on my hair, so I think it'll look good. So yeah, and I have the cutest needle stoppers that the girls at Fiber Macgyver gifted me at their booth. This is their little camper, and I think it's called Midge or Madge. Midge or Madge. But this is where she sells her yarn out of at shows, and it's really cute. So yeah, that's what I have on my needles right now. Of course, I'm a knitter, so I have lots of plans, lots of spring, summer knit plans. I've ordered some yarn, and hopefully that'll be coming soon so I can start some spring and summer tops. I wear my spring and summer tops a lot. I have, I think, maybe six summer-like tops, and I wear them a lot. So I feel like I like to have some more and some colors. I'm trying to branch out into some more colorful things, just because I don't have a lot of color going on with my hair and everything, and so I think that having some more color would be nice to have. As I say this as I just showed you a beige top and a gray sweater. But my stuff for summer is gonna have more color, so I'm very excited about that. I don't feel really confident when I pick colors. That's not like, I don't feel like that's my thing, you know, color choice or color theory. Not like Casey from Young Folk Knits. She always picks the best colors. She's really talented with that. But she had mentioned once before on an episode of finding some inspiration somewhere for your colors. And whether it be like a picture or something from Pinterest or a feeling. And I had purchased this Van Gogh book a while back, and I've always been so drawn to his paintings, and I think most of it has to do with color. Like, I really enjoy the colors in his paintings. And so I thought maybe I would try to take some inspiration from my summer and spring knits out of some of these paintings in here. I think they are something that speaks to me, kind of like primaries, but more elevated. It's like I really love the color stories here. And I think that that's something that I would like to see. That's just so beautiful to me. That's something that I would like to kind of build a wardrobe that I can mix and match with these kind of colors. So yeah, that's my inspiration. Well, maybe not pink. I'm not a fan of pink. I want to like pink, but I'm just not a big pink fan. But like that's me. That is something that I really like. I like that. And let's see what else. Yeah, this is me. This is stuff I like. So I think I would like to use that and show that on my person. My house is painted white, but I have a lot of colorful objects, and they do tend to look like in these stories. I think I tend to gravitate to these types of colors, so I'm looking forward to that. And then when my yarn comes, I can share with you some of the things I picked out. Purchased something recently from eBay. This is a book called Harvesting Color by Rebecca Burgess. And it's all about dyeing your own fabric and yarns with things that you either grow yourself or forage. And I'm super excited about that because I love to garden. I start a garden every year, and it's in its baby stages right now. I've got my seeds planted in seed trays, and got plans in my head. And around April 15th to May 1st is when I usually start planting, just depending on what the forecast looks like, because we can have some freezes up to like around the first week of May. And I have scrambled before covering everything with sheets and blankets and trash cans and all that, and I sweat it through the night about whether or not my things are gonna live. And so I don't want to live that life. So I usually wait. Anyhow, there's some really beautiful things in here. I got this specifically for some of the plants that I have started. I have started, which I grow zinnias every year, but this year I've started indigo, Japanese indigo to be specific. It's something that would grow well in my climate. And I want to learn more about that. And the indigo, which everyone, basically that it turns things blue, but it's the process of getting there. So this book brings you to the process of getting that beautiful blue color. And I want to dye some yarn, but I want to dye some linens and silks and make some of my clothes. And that beautiful indigo blue, I feel like fits my color aesthetic that I would like to have. And it tells you all about how to process the indigo, how to make the dye. And I think that's fantastic. Something else I didn't realize that grows, and there's also marigolds, coreopsis, things like that I grow generally. But it's called pokeberry or pokeweed. This grows all over behind my house, and it is a weed. It gets pretty tall. I've always wondered, like, can I eat that? But I haven't ate it yet. That's why probably I'm still alive. But anyway, look at that. Look what you can get with this color. It's just absolutely beautiful. So I'm interested in trying this. This kind of fruits towards the end of summer, but there's also elderberry, which grows really well here. And you can get this like dusty blue color out of elderberry. So that's exciting. That's really, really exciting. So I'm gonna be looking through this and trying out different things and hopefully sharing those with you, maybe doing some videos when I actually harvest the indigo and start the process of making dyes. You can make the dyes in several different ways, and so I plan on doing all the ways to see if which way I like best and see what looks cool. So yeah, stick around if you want to see that. And I think that's everything in stuff I've made, stuff I'm making, stuff I want to make, stuff I bought. So we'll just wrap it up for you guys. Oh, I wanted to talk about, last time I podcasted, I talked about this book, Knit One, Kill Two. And a few of you mentioned that you would like to read along with me as I read it. And there's a recipe in the back and a knitting pattern. And so I thought if you would like to join, I would love for you to join. So I thought about starting April 5th and having it run through May 5th, because I think would give you enough time to either check out the book from the library or find the book online or download it to your Kindle or however you want to do it. This is, sorry if I'm not saying it, it's by Maggie Sefton, Knit One, Kill Two. And the pattern in the back does not have a ton of sizes, which I am sorry about, but there is a scarf in here. And it's like not really a pattern. It's like use 2 skeins of yarn and knit it for 5.5 inches. Cast on 10 inches. So it's basically a recipe. So if you didn't want to do the shell, but you don't have to knit it at all if you don't want to. You can just read the book and talk about it with us, or bake the cinnamon rolls and talk about it with us, or do none of the baking or the knitting and just read it. I'm going to do all 3 just because that sounds like fun. This shell, this is just a sleeveless top. Very simple, bulky weight yarn. And it comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sizes, but they're pretty, like the smallest one is a 40-inch bust, and the large, extra large was extra large at 52, which I wouldn't call that extra large. Anyway, so it's bulky weight, so it is going to be a bigger, chunkier piece. I'm sure you could just size it up a little bit if you wanted to. Who knows how this is going to turn out. I'm going to probably knit mine out of a cotton or a cotton blend so I can wear it in the summer. But we'll talk more about that. Like, I was thinking about starting a group message on Instagram. So if you want to join along, you can message me on Instagram and I'll put you in the group message. Also, I've started a Ravelry group for this podcast, and we can talk more about the book there as well. There'll be a thread for that, but I specifically started a Ravelry group for showing me what you're knitting, because I love to hear about what you're knitting. A lot of times I don't get to see it. So if you want to share with other viewers of this podcast, and especially me, what you're knitting, I would love to see that. So we could post it on Ravelry or talk about it on Ravelry, or on Instagram if you want to, tag me in your photos of your objects. But I thought a fun thing would have a little group. So it's just called AHandKnitLetter, the group on Instagram. So join if you want to. We, as if I'm more than one person, both of me. I would really love it if you did. Okay, so back to this book. April 5th to May 5th, we're gonna read the book, maybe knit the whodunit shell if you want to, or make the cinnamon rolls if you want to, and we'll chat about it, and we'll come up with some other fun things to do. We can chat about it and show our pictures, show pictures of ourselves stuffing our face full of cinnamon rolls, things like that. So I thought it would be fun. And so if you want to join in the silliness, I would love to have you. So every podcast, I like to share a couple podcasters that I enjoy watching. So you can hear about them and go check them out. Also, I love to hear about podcasts that you enjoy watching. So if you have any in particular that you think that I would enjoy, please put that also in the comments below, because watching podcasts is my favorite thing. I love knitting along to podcasts. I rarely watch TV shows anymore, which is weird, but I love watching podcasts, especially when I knit or when I cook. That's generally what I do. When I'm knitting or cooking, I'm pretty much watching somebody's podcast. Okay, so the ones that I want to feature is a new one to me. It's called Adventure Denali, and her name is Alicia, and she started out as a stationery podcast or vlog, but she does stationery and hiking and camping and knitting. So those check so many boxes for me. But yeah, I really love all her interests, but especially the knitting part and the hiking. So I think that's really, I really do enjoy her channel. I think that you would too. And she's got, I think she has about 15 knitting specific episodes that you could check out. And hopefully she'll have more soon. And then the second one is Amanda of Birch and Lily. I'm sure a lot of you know about Amanda, but I wanted to specifically mention her because she does a lot of really great pattern roundups. Just I think 2 days ago or 3 days ago, she put out a pattern roundup for spring tops, and there were several that I've never heard of before on there that are super cute. And so I think that you would enjoy seeing that too. She's done many other pattern roundups, like one skein projects. I think she has like a seasonal ones. I think she's done some free pattern roundup. She gives a lot of details as to why you may or may not want to knit the pattern. So I think that you would enjoy checking out Amanda. So I think that's it for everything knitting and creating related. At the beginning of my videos, I usually put a little bit of footage of things that I got up to since the last time that we spoke. I put a few clips of our trip to Nevada. My husband went out there for a trade show, got to tag along, and so we went to the Valley of Fire State Park in Nevada, and it was just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We also went to Death Valley National Park. It was cool. It was like another planet, but the Valley of Fire was beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and it wasn't crowded. The day that we went, at least. I'm gonna sneeze. That was successful. That was a successful sneeze. No peeing in the pants. Some other things that I've been enjoying. I did not know until recently that you can watch movies on YouTube, and which I have streaming services that I subscribe to watch movies, but I don't know why I got so excited about the YouTube. Maybe because it's free and then people can watch movies for free. But I've recently been watching some old Agatha Christie movies. I just watched Death on the Nile, like the 1970s version with Mia Farrow and Maggie Smith and Angela Lansbury, and Betty Davis. So that was fun. And next up in the queue, I'm going to watch Appointment with Death. And I think it has Carrie Fisher in it. It looks like it, at least on the trailer poster. It looks like Carrie Fisher. So we'll find that out soon. Spoiler alert, the movie was only made in like the 70s, but so I've been enjoying that. And then, like I said before, planning for my garden. This time of year is busy with that, and I'm happy about that. This time of year is bittersweet for me because it's the anniversary of the death of two people that I loved very much. So when that rolls around, it kind of freshens, I guess, the wound a little bit. The sweet side of the bitter is we have, at least in this part of the hemisphere, we have sunshine and longer days, and the daffodils are blooming, and my peas are coming up in the garden, and I see bluebirds in the bluebird houses. So all those things help. All those things make me happy, and I hope that you are seeing things out in nature that make you happy and bring some joy to your life. And until next time, I wish you well and happy knitting.